My fiance left me for the neighbor's daughter, but his father secretly altered his will, leaving everything to me. My fiance abandoned me for the neighbor's daughter, but his father quietly changed his will due to his disappointment with his son's actions. I, a 27-year-old woman, can't believe I'm writing this. I've been staring at my laptop for hours, trying to make sense of what happened. I met Ethan, 30, at a tech company 5 years ago. I had just moved to Boston for a job after finishing college in Seattle. Ethan worked in product development, while I worked in marketing. He was charming, successful, and seemed perfect. We started as friends, and Ethan would stop by my office during coffee breaks. We eventually had lunch together. 6 months later, he asked me out on a date. I was hesitant about office relationships, but he made it feel natural. We dated for 3 years before getting engaged. I grew close to his parents, Richard, 58, and Patricia, 55, who treated me like a daughter. They had no other children, and Patricia was thrilled to welcome a daughter into the family. Their beautiful, historic home, passed down through generations, became the setting for our Sunday family dinners. During one of these dinners, Ethan proposed to me with his grandmother's ring, and Patricia gave me a family necklace as a formal welcome. The wedding planning went smoothly. Ethan's parents insisted on contributing financially, even though my family had already covered everything. Patricia helped with every detail, from dress fittings to decor, and she bonded with my mother. Everything seemed perfect. The week before the wedding, Ethan appeared excited, so we planned a honeymoon in Europe, which his parents generously offered. At the rehearsal dinner, Ethan gave an emotional speech about our future. Patricia hugged me, proud to have me as her daughter-in-law. Richard seemed emotional, despite his reserved nature. On the wedding day, as I was preparing, Ethan's best man arrived, visibly nervous. He handed me a message from Ethan, saying he couldn't go through with it and needed time to think. I tried calling Ethan, but his phone was off. The best man confessed that Ethan had left early that morning. The aftermath was chaotic. My parents rushed to cancel everything, while Ethan's parents were stunned. Patricia tried calling him, but Richard looked gloomy, almost unsurprised. I sat in my wedding dress for hours, devastated. The guests were sent home, and all our preparations were wasted. My parents lost thousands in non-refundable deposits. 2 days later, still in bed, a friend sent me an Instagram screenshot. Ethan had posted a photo with Emma, 26, the neighbor's daughter who lived just a few houses away. They clearly looked happy and comfortable together in what appeared to be her home. Emma had always been around at family events because she lived so close. The caption read, "Sometimes the right path isn't the easy one." I never realized she was so involved in our family gatherings. She was always polite, asking about wedding plans and even offering to help with arrangements. Now I understand why she was so interested. I learned from mutual friends that Ethan and Emma had been seeing each other secretly for months. They got close after she joined the local tennis club, where Ethan played. They practiced together early in the mornings before work. What hurts more than Ethan's betrayal is his parents' response. Instead of being angry with him, they embraced his new relationship. A week after the wedding disaster, Patricia called me, not to apologize, but to explain why I shouldn't be upset with Ethan's decision. She said Emma was a better match because her family had connections in the tech world. Emma's father owned a successful software company, and Ethan was sure to inherit a share of the business. Patricia had the nerve to imply that while they liked me, they needed to think about Ethan's future, and Emma could offer him better opportunities. She mentioned that sometimes parents must support their children's choices, even if they seem harsh. The same woman who had cried tears of joy when I got engaged and helped plan every detail of the wedding now acted like I was just a stepping stone in her son's path to success. Then came an unexpected turn. 2 weeks after the wedding, Ethan's father's lawyer contacted me. Richard had updated his will 2 months before the wedding. The lawyer said that Richard had seen through Ethan's behavior and was disgusted by it. He left everything, the family business, properties, and investments, to me instead of Ethan. This was done in secret, without anyone's knowledge, including Patricia. When I asked the lawyer why Richard would do this, he explained that Richard had noticed a shift in Ethan's behavior over the past year. He even hired a private investigator to confirm his suspicions. The lawyer gave me a letter that Richard had written to explain everything. Richard had been ashamed of the man his son had become. He had noticed how hard-working and genuine I was, and believed I would be a better guardian of the family legacy than Ethan. I haven't told anyone about the will yet, not even my parents. Ethan and his mother still think he will inherit everything. I'm just trying to process everything while watching them enjoy Ethan's new relationship with Emma, as if nothing ever happened. Patricia posts pictures of them together on Facebook, proud that her son has found his true love. The hardest part is watching my former mother-in-law, who I thought loved me like a daughter, act as if I never existed. She helped me pick additional decorations and even suggested that I buy a more expensive wedding dress, all while knowing about their plans. The more I reflect on it, the worse I feel. They sat at family meals, assisted with wedding preparations, and pretended to be excited about our future together, all while preparing to humiliate me in front of everyone I knew. I met with Richard's lawyer again yesterday, and he revealed even more shocking details about Ethan. This wasn't his first time doing something like this. The lawyer showed me documents of Ethan's past engagements to 2 other women. Both ended in the same way, Ethan leaving them for someone he thought would better his future. The first was Rachel, his college girlfriend. They were engaged during their senior year until Ethan met the daughter of a tech executive at a career fair. He broke off the engagement by email and started dating the executive's daughter a week later. That relationship ended when he found out she wasn't as close to her father as he had assumed. The second was Amanda, who worked at Ethan's first job. They were engaged for 6 months until Ethan learned her family's business was struggling. He left her for a woman whose father was on the board of a major company. That romance also ended when the woman's father disapproved of Ethan. Richard had been gathering this information for months. He hired a private investigator who uncovered Ethan's habit of using women for his social and financial benefit. This investigation led Richard to change his will. The lawyer showed me images, emails, and text messages proving that Ethan had been planning to leave me since meeting Emma at the tennis club. But today brought the biggest shock. Emma came to my apartment crying. She had found messages on Ethan's phone while he was in the shower. The messages revealed that Ethan was already pursuing Olivia, her wealthy cousin, who was set to inherit her family's multi-million-dollar tech company. Olivia apparently visits from California every summer, and Ethan had planned to meet her during her next visit. Emma was heartbroken. She showed me all the texts, including conversations between Ethan and Patricia, where they criticized both Emma and me. They referred to us as mere stepping stones in Ethan's path to success. Patricia even suggested specific ways for Ethan to win Olivia's trust, such as using his friendship with Emma. The messages also revealed that Patricia had encouraged Ethan to join the tennis club where Emma played, knowing they'd meet there. She had planned everything, from fostering their friendship to setting up early morning practice sessions where they could meet in secret. Since Emma left Ethan, Patricia has been calling me nonstop, probably hoping to convince me to take Ethan back now that his plan with Emma has fallen through. Every time she calls, I let it go to voicemail. Her texts have shifted from nasty to desperate, begging me to speak with her. She has no idea about the will, nor do I know how much they played a role in destroying my wedding day. The lawyer advised me to keep the will a secret for now. There are still some legal steps to go through, and he believes it's best if Ethan and Patricia remain unaware of the will until everything is finalized. He's worried they might try to challenge it if they find out too soon. Emma and I spoke for hours today. She apologized profusely for her involvement, saying she had no idea about Ethan's past or his plans to pursue her cousin. She believed he had truly fallen for her and abandoned me because of his feelings. But finding those messages made her realize she was just another piece in his game. I'm still processing all of this information. Every day seems to reveal something new about the people I thought I knew and trusted. According to the lawyer, We should have all the inheritance documents in order within a few weeks. Until then, I'm just trying to keep my head above water while resisting the urge to reveal everything I know about Ethan and his mother. Update. This week, everything exploded in the worst possible way. Ethan's parents found out about the inheritance issue during a meeting with their bank. They were trying to secure another loan, using the family business as collateral for more home improvements. The bank informed them that they no longer had rights to the business or its assets. Patricia had a complete meltdown at the bank. She showed up at my workplace, screaming. She got past security by claiming to be my mother-in-law and started causing a scene. She yelled at me for manipulating Richard and stealing their family legacy. My co-workers had to call security to remove her, but not before she told everyone that Ethan had left me at the altar. I had been keeping it quiet at work, telling everyone that the wedding had been postponed. After Patricia's outburst, Ethan began calling and texting nonstop. His messages alternated between begging for forgiveness and accusing me of ruining his family. He claimed he had made a huge mistake by leaving me and that he still loved me. According to him, Emma meant nothing to him, and he only left because he was afraid of commitment. This dramatic change of heart came right after Emma moved out, and his attempts to contact her cousin Olivia had failed miserably. Emma told me that Olivia had laughed when Ethan tried to ask her out. She had already learned everything about him from Emma and informed their entire extended family. Now, Ethan can't access the family business that he was so eager to inherit. Richard eventually broke his silence this week. He called a family meeting at his house and invited Emma's parents, who had been close family friends for years. Richard revealed everything, including the findings from the private investigator. He exposed Ethan's pattern with his ex-fiancées and Patricia's role in enabling his behavior. Richard explained why he changed his will and shared everything he had discovered about Ethan and Patricia's plan. Patricia burst into tears when Richard told her their home would be foreclosed in a few weeks. They had taken out numerous loans, betting on Ethan's future to pay them off. Now they were drowning in debt and couldn't make their payments. Their perfect plan had completely backfired. Ethan tried to explain himself, claiming he had been pressured by his mother to find someone wealthy. Richard pulled out printed copies of Ethan's messages to Patricia, where he bragged about manipulating both Emma and me. The messages showed how he planned to use Emma's family connections to meet Olivia, and how he calculated how much he could profit from each relationship. The most startling discovery was that Patricia had created detailed spreadsheets comparing the potential financial advantages of Ethan being with me, Emma, and Olivia. She had tracked everything, including our family income and possible business connections. Emma's father was furious when he found out about this, especially since Patricia had been one of his wife's closest friends. Since the bank started the foreclosure process, Ethan's parents had been begging for my forgiveness. Patricia sends me long emails, explaining that she was only trying to be a good mother and got carried away wanting the best for her son. She promised a public apology and even suggested revealing everything to my parents. Ethan took a different approach. He showed up at my place last night with his grandmother's ring, which I had returned after the failed wedding. He begged me to get back together and suggested we run the family business together to help his parents keep their house. It seemed as if he had completely forgotten the humiliation he caused me and the scheming he did with his mother. I didn't let him in. I spoke with him through the door and warned him to leave before I called the police. He became furious, accusing me of being cruel and heartless, of tearing his family apart over a single mistake, a mistake that he and his mother had planned months in advance. It had cost my family thousands in wedding deposits, while also humiliating me in front of everyone I knew. Richard called me after that to apologize for Ethan's visit. He said he was working with his lawyer to get a restraining order against both Ethan and Patricia to protect me. Emma's father is also helping, using his contacts to make sure Ethan can't find another job in the IT industry in our area. It's a small comfort to know that there are still decent people in this mess. Update 2. After months of legal back and forth, the inheritance has finally been settled. I used part of it to launch a profitable new branch of the family business, focusing on sustainable technology solutions, something Richard had always wanted to pursue, but Patricia and Ethan had resisted. Richard has been a wonderful mentor throughout this process, teaching me everything I need to know about the business and connecting me with his industry contacts. Ethan tried to contest the will in court, claiming I misled his father while he was mentally unwell. That backfired spectacularly when all of his past actions were brought into evidence. The private investigator Richard hired testified about Ethan's pattern with his ex-fiancées, and both Rachel and Amanda came forward to share their stories. The judge not only dismissed Ethan's claim, but also ordered him to pay all legal fees. Ethan's parents were forced to leave their home last month. They now live in a small rental apartment on the outskirts of the city. Patricia still tries to reach out occasionally, usually after drinking too much. She's begged me to forgive her for everything, but I can't forget the way she treated me. As for Ethan, his reputation is shattered. He has struggled to find work, and his attempts to move back into the tech industry have failed miserably. Emma, on the other hand, is doing much better. She moved to California and started a new life there. She and I have become close friends again. We still talk often, and she's even dating someone who truly cares about her. As for me, I'm focusing on my business and moving forward. I have everything I need to succeed, and I'm not looking back.